Did you know that Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, believed that the key to health lay in the balance of the body's four humors? He was way ahead of his time. We often think of him as this super smart ancient Greek physician who laid the foundation for modern medicine. But what if I told you that some of his health practices were, well, let's just say a little unconventional? In fact, some of them might even shock you. Hippocrates is known for his groundbreaking work in the field of medicine, but few people know about his quirky side. From his diet to his treatment methods, he was truly a pioneer. And today, we're going to dive into some of the most mind-blowing habits of Hippocrates that will make you wonder if he was a genius or just plain crazy. But before we get into all that, let me ask you, have you ever heard the myth that Hippocrates was a bit of a hypochondriac? Well, for starters, he believed that the key to good health was all about balance. He thought that the body was made up of four fluid-like substances called humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. And according to him, when these humors were out of balance, that's when diseases would occur. He developed all sorts of remedies to restore balance, from diets to herbal medicines and even surgery. But here's the thing, some of his remedies were downright bizarre. For instance, he believed that certain foods could affect your mood. So if you were feeling anxious or depressed, he'd prescribe you a special diet to calm you down. He also thought that the environment played a huge role in our health. He'd often recommend that his patients take long walks in the countryside or spend time near the ocean to improve their well-being. In fact, he was one of the first physicians to recognize the importance of hygiene. He'd often tell his patients to wash their hands regularly, especially before eating. He even had some pretty advanced ideas about nutrition. He believed that food should be our medicine and that we should eat according to our individual temperaments. He believed in the power of supernatural forces, and that's reflected in some of his more unusual remedies. For example, he thought that certain diseases were caused by an imbalance of fluids in the body. To fix this, he'd use a technique called bloodletting, where he'd drain blood from the patient's body to restore balance. He also believed in the power of amulets and talismans to ward off disease. So, if you were feeling unwell, he might give you a special charm to wear around your neck or a magical potion to drink. And then there were his ideas about women's health. He thought that women were more prone to certain diseases because of their, quote, cold and damp nature. To treat these diseases, he'd often prescribe herbal remedies or special diets designed to warm up their bodies. If you're fascinated by ancient medicine and quirky historical figures like Hippocrates, check out our merch at histoedutainment.com. We've got unique designs that celebrate the eccentricities of the past. Wear a piece of history and show off your love for all things ancient and medical with our exclusive collection. But perhaps the most surprising thing about Hippocrates is his take on mental health. He believed that the mind and body were connected, and that our thoughts and emotions could affect our physical well-being. So, he'd often prescribe meditation and exercise to treat conditions like anxiety and depression. But some of his remedies were downright shocking. Like, have you ever heard of using leeches to treat headaches? Yeah, that was a thing back then. Or how about using opium to treat insomnia? I mean, I know we're talking about ancient times, but still, it's hard to imagine prescribing opium as a sleep aid. So, what do you guys think? Are you surprised by some of Hippocrates' health habits? Would you ever try any of them out? Let us know in the comments below. Hippocrates believed in the power of, wait for it, excrement. That's right, he thought that our poop could reveal all sorts of secrets about our health. In fact, he'd often examine his patient's stool to diagnose diseases. He even wrote a whole book on the subject, which is still studied by medical historians today. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did this guy ever become the father of medicine? But despite some of his more unusual ideas, Hippocrates' emphasis on observation, experimentation, and the importance of the patient's role in their own care laid the groundwork for modern medicine as we know it today. And who knows, maybe some of his ancient remedies will make a comeback in the future. After all, there's been a growing trend towards natural and holistic approaches to health, and Hippocrates was all about that. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos on ancient medical practices and health tips. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.